Hello, cuties. It is me, Fumi Abe, and I am touring my stand-up comedy hour all across America this summer. I'd love to see you there. June 20th, Los Angeles. July 7th, New York City. July 15th, Seattle. We got Chicago and Toronto dates coming up. So if you're interested, go to fumiabe.com for tickets. I really need this right now because I'm putting together this all by myself. And so if people don't come, I will get in trouble. So if you've liked anything I've done, I deplore you. Is that the right word? Deplore? I beg of you. Please come. Hi, cuties. Steffi is in Europe doing a little vacay, and we could not record this week. I'm so sorry about that. We really thought that we would be able to, but the time difference is crazy. So we are releasing a bonus episode that is exclusive on Patreon. Just to give you guys a little flavor of what you can get if you join and support us on patreon.com/cashcutiespod. We go over the finances of hooking up and all the expenses that come with that. And we answer some of our fan questions. So we hope you enjoy it, and we'll be back to regular programming next week. I don't even know how to start this, to be honest with you. This is our bonus episode, I guess. This is our bonus Patreon. For the people who subscribe to Patreon, thank you so much for subscribing. We love you guys. We're going to answer fan questions that we've been getting from you guys about their finances. And today's question comes from Trini B. It is called Finances of a First Date. I'm going to play this clip just so people know what's going on.
All right. Hey, cuties. So I ran into this dilemma recently where I went on this first date, where at the end of the date, the bill came and my date did not reach for the bill. And I perceived it as a little bit of a hesitation. And so I said, hey, do you want to split the bill? And a little bit, I was testing him to see if he would just say, no, don't worry about it. But instead he said, yeah, that's great. And so I pull out my wallet, I'm ready to put down my card, but he puts his card in and he said, hey, you can Venmo me. And I said, okay. And I kind of made a joke and I was like, oh, do you get points for paying? And he said, no. And I said, oh. And I was disappointed because, we're 26 out here, 27, 28. And I just kind of expected a little bit more financial knowledge. And he was like, well, do you get points? And I said, yes, I have a Chase Sapphire Preferred card. And he said, oh, well, then do you want to pay? And look, I said, okay, sure. So I ended up paying the bill and then he Venmo'd me. But again, here's the thing. He didn't split the tab right down the middle. He tabbed up what he had eaten. And then he showed me a number. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, man. At the end of the day, a bunch of other things happened that I was kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is like gonna go to a second date at this point. But he messaged me recently and was like, hey, so when are you free again? And truthfully, I am questioning whether to go on a date with this man again. And so, I just wanted to get your take on this. My name is Trini. Really looking forward to your response. Bye-bye.
Okay, I want to hear your perspective, because would you do this, what the guy did?
No, okay. I know that we like to make fun of Fumi for being clinically stingy, okay? But when I take it on a date, I'm romantic, okay? I don't even look at the check. Boom, I got you. Dude.
So you understand that there's romance.
100%.
Okay.
100%. If you look at this objectively, it's better than just splitting it, right? Because he's paying more than her. So it's not as cool as him paying for the whole thing, but it's financially better than just splitting it. But because he made a weird thing about it, it's actually worse, right? Like money-wise, she's getting more money, but it's just kind of awkward. I think we were talking about this when we first got this email. Is there a racial element to it? I think I need to know the race of this man.
Absolutely.
Because I think maybe, I don't know if you've experienced, I don't know if you go on dates with white guys anymore, but I've seen this thing where rich white dudes, maybe it's because they didn't talk about money growing up. Maybe they're not poor by any means, so there's no excuse for that. I don't know what the reason is. They have money. Maybe they just don't know really how to talk about it. Maybe they're not sensitive about it. Maybe they're not trying to prove something, but they are like weirdly stingy about things. Couple examples. In college, I had this Australian friend who like, he wasn't really a friend. He worked at Forrester, which is like a huge consulting company. He's a couple years older than me. He's making a lot of money. Comes to the party, brings a 6-pack, drinks 2. When he leaves, he takes his beer with him.
God.
He's not going to a different party. And so me and my Asian friend, we called him out. We're like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? And then he was like, oh, well, I only drank 2. And this guy is making like $150 at this point. Like, he's rich, you know?
It's not about the money.
But the thing is, he doesn't think he's being stingy. He's like, oh, this is just sort of what I've been taught to do, or this is normal for me.
Sounds familiar.
He's not trying to be, he's not trying to offend anyone, right? I don't know. Okay. I think there's a racial element, right? We can.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Say there is no racial element. She's basically asking, should we go on? She wants to know if there should be another date or not, right? First off, if I was on this date, the minute he did not pick up that check, slowly, I'm already in my head about money. Immediately, I'm like, oh shit, he doesn't want to pay this.
Yeah.
He might not. He might be thinking about something else. I don't know. I'm immediately already anxious. And I think that's probably the same for her. We're very aware of that, right?
Sure.
Unless we're like, whatever, we're in our heads. And that moment, I think, is so important in the person being like, oh, let me get that. The fact that he already made it into this thing of the finances is extremely unsexy. But I wouldn't say don't go on a second date if you liked him. It already sounds like you didn't, because you said some other things happened other than the money thing that you're not sure about. Outside of this, I don't think it means that he is not stingy for the future, because it could just be, you could have a conversation, I think, in the second date about how this made you feel.
Yes. I think you're right. I think don't judge a book by a cover or whatever. Yes, 100% this is not sexy, but I'm also worried that he's the one and you're dismissing him based on this stupid attribute. And again, if he is a dumb white guy like I just described and just like not paying for whatever reason, I don't necessarily think that makes him a bad guy. So I think if you like him, see him a couple more times, see what he does. Maybe on the third date or so, when you're getting a little closer, it's something that you can bring up. And you don't have to say, listen, you can be like, hey, listen, I'm financially independent. I don't need no man. But please understand that, like, in a romantic setting, money is not sexy. And that first night I was going to blow you, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen because you Venmo'd me, you fucking weirdo. I can't imagine. Oh, poor girl. Like, can you imagine dressing up, looking cute as hell, going to this restaurant, eating some nice food, and the guy's like, I'm gonna Venmo you? Venmo is the last thing you want to be thinking about on a date.
Well, also, like, that was weird, having to pull out your own, whether he was going to pay for half of it or not. That, like, it's just, that's so unsexy. Just
the more you stay in that finance zone of like, you know, the more you stay in that zone, the drier her vagina.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think talking about it, oh my God.
That pause, that was the sound of her vagina retracting into her body. You know what I mean? As she was telling the story, she's like, I actually don't even know if I like guys. You know what I mean?
So I think give it another chance and let us know if you actually liked him. If not, there's tons of other people that would know how to. I mean, I my thing is, maybe this guy's like a nerd. Maybe he hasn't gone out with girls in a while. Like, maybe he thinks he's not being a feminist by paying, you know, like, he might have this other side of him that's not actually like this.
Absolutely. So. I'm a big believer in, like, I know women are always like educating men, but I'm also a big believer in, like, I don't think this is an education thing. I'm a big believer in, like, expressing what you want.
Yes.
And sometimes it's just a communication thing. So I wouldn't write him off just yet, but you know, I do agree that this is a little bit.
Yeah, just talk about it.
I don't know.
Just talk about it. Even if you talk about it, it's interesting to talk about. Honestly, it's very interesting to talk about this stuff on a date.
It's actually, you know what? You should bring it up and see how he reacts.
Yeah.
Because if he's truly like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't know that, then he genuinely didn't know, and I think that's okay. Yeah. But if he gets all like weird about it, like I would, then get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Maybe this was me. I think this was me. I think I went on a date with Trini. I'm so sorry.
Unless you like Excel sheets at some point.
Yeah.
That could turn you on. Okay, next. It seems like everyone is going through layoffs these days, Fumi. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it's mad scary.
if that's you, listen up. You might be entitled to more rights than you know.
When you get laid off, your employer is probably going to make you sign an NDA before they finalize your layoff, and your company is going to pressure you to sign this document and tell you that if you don't, they're not going to give you your final paycheck. But you should talk to a professional before doing so.
Did you know that you can negotiate your severance pay? Do not accept it right away. It is tempting, but they're going to lay you off, so you need to get as much as you can.
There's also something called the Wage Transparency Law that just passed in March of 2023, which allows you to freely discuss your compensation with your coworkers out in the open to see if you are getting paid around the same or if there's some sort of wage discrimination. You need to know your worth.
If you have any questions about employment issues or layoffs, contact Brianna Kim PC, your Korean lawyer friend, and get some advice. She works on contingencies, so it's free until your case is won. Go to KoreanLawyerFriend.com or leave a voicemail at 714-482-6301. Don't forget to mention Cash Cuties when you reach out. This episode was sponsored by an anonymous vegan who invites listeners to try eating plant-based for the animals and planet.
Next, this one is okay. This is from Brandy R. The Finances of Hooking Up. Hi, I love the pod. I have never messaged the podcast and have absolutely no idea if this message will be annoying or what y'all want from your fans. I'm 26 and I hook up a lot. Hey, and was thinking about the finances of hooking up. Obviously, dinner dates can be expensive, but I have to think about gas and tolls when considering if someone is hot enough to swipe right on the apps. Gas and toll.
Where is she going? Is she traveling to 2 hours? Like, what is happening?
Then if it's worth investing in sex toys and condoms and lube for randos, but also for better sex. Okay, first of all, are you into Japanese guys? Like, what's good? Okay, had an interesting final situation and figured I'd throw it out there. I was in San Francisco with my friend, and I was a designated driver. So I had my car. I met this guy out at the bars who I had been talking to on Hinge, and we talked about going back to his place in the city. I said he would have to Uber my friend home since I drove here. First, he asked if he could split his Uber, and I said sure, but when he started to call the Uber, it was $75. I said I could just come back another time because I wasn't going to pay $40 to hook up. And instead of just saying, yeah, come back tomorrow or another time, he tried to negotiate. He tried to offer to split it like 50-25. And then he said we should just drive to his place and call an Uber from there since it was closer to the freeway. I just drove my friend and I... This guy fucked it up, dude.
Did you actually want to hook up? Like, I almost feel like he was like asking for her to be like, no. Okay,
this guy sounds white too.
He sounds white or someone who's like 19. Who doesn't actually have the money, right?
I don't know.
There's
so
no way
she's 26. So I don't know that he would be 19.
Dude, I've made out with some people that I probably shouldn't have made out with. But let me tell you, the younger they are, they suck. So if you don't know, yes. So no, even sex, even just making out.
Oh,
dude, literally so bad. The worst makeouts I've ever had were people
teenagers?
That were like over.
Okay, buddy.
They're like really, not teenager of age. But very
careful.
bad.
Careful. We just started this podcast.
We're careful. Hey, we talk about everything on here. No, oh my God, I would completely girl. You are worth way too much for this.
I mean, I never really considered the finances of hooking up because, like, okay, in that situation, I'm actually surprised you tried to fucking barter because, okay, I'm not trying to be creepy, but I saw her thumbnail, like, on her Instagram. She was very cute.
Very cute.
And so I'm thinking, like, dude, when I'm horny... I mean, Louis C.K. has a joke about this. When guys are horny, they turn into the Incredible Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when they like come back down. They're like, oh, I gotta leave town. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So I'm like, when I'm horny, I'm fucking buying drinks. I'm getting Ubers.
Yeah.
I don't fucking, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
it has happened.
That's normal.
So it's normal. So I'm surprised this guy was willing to I mean, at this, if you look at the numbers, what, he couldn't just pay $50 more to get some pussy? Like, come on, dude.
I can't believe he wanted to split it.
I know. That's so not hot. He sounds white. I don't know. I feel like white guys do this kind of shit. I remember... I think we talked about this culturally. Maybe they don't really pay for stuff like that. Like, I remember when I was in New York, my white friend from Ohio came to visit with his family. We went out to dinner, and his parents didn't pay for me. And
That's
that's weird, right?
I need you guys, when you guys do have these dating things, can you please tell us what culture they're from?
Yeah, the race, age, like information on the guy.
More info.
We need it. We need it.
Yeah, we need like a bio. Basically a bio of a dating thing. Like you need to give us so that we can like, I mean, but are we making excuses for them? I think we're just trying to say like there's cultural differences outside of the money situation.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I would be so turned off. Like if a girl did that to you, well, I don't know. That's different.
Well, first of all, how do you feel about her being like, okay, you have to pay for my friend's Uber? How do you feel about that part? It's not
well,
weird.
She didn't say you don't have to.
She did drive her. You know what I mean? Like that part. I mean, I'm on Team Brandy for sure, but that part, that's an interesting thing. I've never had to come across that. Right, so like you meet this cute guy at a bar. He's like, let's go back to my place, but you drove me, and I'm drunk as fuck. And so you're like, can you pay for Fumi's Uber? That's what this is about, right?
I could see it being uncomfortable even asking. Like, I'd be like, do you mind?
But you're the fucking girl. You're the hot one. It's like, okay, you want to fuck me? Then okay, I want to fuck you too. But we got a problem on our hands.
That needs to be clear. Was it sure they were both gonna hook up? Did she say like?
He said, let's go back to my place.
That means a hookup, right? Like,
100%.
I wonder if he was considering what is it going to be worth it?
What do you mean?
Like financially, is it going to be worth it? Because maybe she won't give it up.
Oh, maybe. Oh, you're saying she may not have made it very clear that it was
like
going to go down. That's true. And if they're younger, like 25, 26, I could see how that could be an issue because, bro, am I going to just drop $50 to send this drunk Japanese guy home just to like watch a movie, you know?
Right.
I could see that. So maybe you didn't make it clear that you wanted to hit it.
But also, do you have to make it? That also sucks that you have to be like, send my girlfriend home. I will fuck you.
No. I know you're doing it as a joke, but I promise you, guys are so fucking dumb. We have to spell it out sometimes. Even I'm fucking 33 now. Sometimes you have to really fucking tell me for me to be like, yeah. So a younger guy, I can only imagine would be dumber.
You're right, because I think I've noticed dating in this day and age, like I think things have changed so much since Me Too and all these, is that men, I don't think they're more conscious of them having to be careful of how they come off.
Yes.
And so I'm not saying they're actually better people, but at least they're like, oh, I can't fuck this up. I can't say the wrong things. I can't like show that I'm being this, you know, like, so I could see how
we need that consent. You know?
Yeah.
So you have to be like consenting, but like in a sexy way. I did want to hit on this before we wrap this up. The finances of hooking up, she mentions condoms and stuff. I haven't bought condoms in a while. In New York, you can just get like 3 at the deli for like, I don't know, $5 or something. I go to the pharmacy, right? I go to the condom section, and a lot of it's sold out. Most of it was sold out.
The small ones, the ones that are like just 3 packs. You didn't want to buy
the entire condom section was sold out, but three boxes. So I had to buy 20 condoms, and it was like $20. And you know what? Like, it didn't feel good. You know what I mean? I was thinking about that $20 for sure.
It's expensive.
I mean,
were you gonna Venmo? Did you kind of consider?
No,
you thought
no,
about
no,
the
no,
finances of this, though. You were like,
I didn't think of the finance. It was just more like, it's a pain point.
That's interesting. I never really think about, like, I guess this is like a superiority complex where I'm just like, you're so fucking lucky to even be in the vicinity of me, that I forget that it's expensive, especially if someone doesn't have a job.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of money to fuck.
And
like,
I'm not going to fuck 20 times. That's the thing, right? Chances of these condoms expiring before my next sex encounter
you can't use it later on? Or you're going to just have a...
I mean, I guess if I hook up with somebody else, I can.
Wait, chances of what? That they're going to expire? You're not going to fuck 20 times before 2025?
I feel like condoms expire in like 6 months. Am I wrong? They last a while.
Oh, I actually don't know.
Right? It's like, it's not that long. So... You know, time is ticking. I just look.
Wait, were you looking at the back of the boxes to make sure you're getting the freshest pack?
like you're at a grocery store.
The milk. You're like, oh, I could use it for 2 more weeks. Wait. Okay, so there was this time that I was talking to this guy, but it was only like our 3rd time we hung out, and I let him come to my place, but we had run out of. I didn't have any condoms, and he didn't have condoms, and so. I didn't want him to tell him to go get condoms, but I was like,
no, you're allowed to say that.
Okay, but I was freshly out of my long-term relationship. I forgot how it works.
Yeah.
So I was like, but it was also like 3:00 in the morning, and we were in downtown where there's no convenience stores. So I gave him the idea of like, why don't you just like order it through like, you know, the TaskRabbit or some shit. I couldn't tell him. I didn't know
the
how.
most Steffi way to order a condom. He spent
What?
an extra
What do you mean?
extra money. I would just drive and go get it.
Well, so I was asked, so I mentioned it, and I was like, "Are we gonna get it?" And he kept like delaying, and I was like, "Why is he delaying getting the condom? Like, did he want me to get the condoms? Like, I didn't understand what the fuck was happening, and I still don't know." But I was literally so fucking annoyed because we waited around for 2 hours watching like Nathan For You. He kept like showing me.
Wait, you ordered a TaskRabbit on?
No, I didn't fucking do it. I was gonna be like, if you're gonna fuck, if you want to fuck, like you have to order. But he wasn't doing it.
Do you think it was a stingy thing?
That's what I want to know.
Oh, that's okay. That's weird. If I'm already in fucking bed with you or like in your house, 100% I'm gonna go get that shit. You know, this was because I was like I wasn't with her yet and I had to go to the pharmacy before to get condoms. I'm happy to buy condoms. Just like $20 is a lot of money, and like I'm not that broke, but it's like also I don't need 20 condoms. I was just like annoyed at the whole thing. You know?
No, it was like $30 for 3. I saw him look it up.
Yo, 100%. He was like, I don't know if this is worth it. But it's not because you're not worth $30. It's just because $30 is like a lot of money. That's a lot of money for condoms, right? You say the word $30. I'm thinking, let's go to lunch at Sugarfish. That's what I'm thinking. Now I'm thinking omakase.
Okay, that makes sense, but then don't fucking wear a fucking head to toe Chrome Hearts outfit where you spent like thousands of dollars and fucking
guys wear Chrome Hearts. How about that? What are you fucking someone from 2007? Jesus Christ! Oh my god!
He was wearing like fucking cowboy boots and like some fucking. I was like, fuck you.
God damn.
I still had sex and it was bad.
But
so.
no, for sure. And last week,
so should we both just not have? If something like this happens, maybe the whole story, the moral story, the sex is gonna be bad if you even have to think about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Both these things. I think it's gotta be bad because it's like when you're having sex, because she's not having. This is not relationship sex. She's saying hookups.
Yeah.
We're talking. This girl should be getting piped down by like an animalistic kind of guy. This should be so hot. Now, when you're talking about Venmos, fucking you bringing in TaskRabbit. Now I'm thinking about startups. This is not hot, and this is not the kind of sex you want to be having. So the fact that like. He even was trying to negotiate with you. No, fuck him.
No,
okay,
fuck
hookups are only hot because they happen in the moment.
Yes,
and he lost it. This is on him, girl. So
absolutely, that is so fucking true. You are paying. You do not have like the minute money is thought of.
Yeah,
you've already thought too much.
You lost it. You
that is such a good point.
Yeah, dude.
The minute you think of money.
Yeah.
For any of this dating shit.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
You're fucked.
Stop.
No, I mean, like, again, I'm only saying this because it's like a hookup, right? Instantaneous hot sex. If you're trying to find a partner, you can have a conversation about that. But like, this guy's not worth having you can't call him up, be like, hey, listen, I know we tried to hook up last week, but the money thing you brought made me actually a little uncomfortable. Like, this is not even worth it. Okay.
No.
So
don't
you know,
respond.
You're very attractive. I think you're gonna be fine. Hit me up. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be fine.
He's got 19 more condoms. So. Don't worry. It's on him.
It's on me. Fucking so stupid. All right, that's our bonus episode. We hope you liked it. We're gonna do more of these. Keep sending us questions at cashcutiespodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys.
Okay.
We'll see you guys some other time. Bye.